Okay, section 4.3, solving quadratics by factoring. So my solutions to a quadratic are called a couple different things. First thing we call them is roots. We also call them zeros. We call them x-intercepts and solutions. It's kind of the main four that it's called. And if the quadratic is in standard form, and can be factored, the equation is solved using what we call the zero product property. ZPP. Basically says that if you have like the factored form, so x minus 4, x plus 2, like that, if either of these are equal to 0, then the whole thing is 0, because 0 times anything is 0. So let's look at this. Zero it out, factor, use zero product property, etc. So let's see what these two have in common. They both share the number 8, and they both have at least one x. So when I factor that out, 24 divided by 8 gives me 3, and I still have one more x in there, minus 2. Now when we do this, we have two different parts that are equal to 0. So we have two parts here. So we have 8x equals 0, and we have 3x minus 2 equals 0. So that when I solve this thing, this one I get x equals 0, this one I get x equals positive 2 over 3. Those are my two answers. You can tell there's two answers because it's got the x squared. If it's an x squared, there's always going to be two answers. So x squared equals 64. To get rid of a squared, I'm just going to square root that thing. And we get x equals plus or minus 8. There's always a positive way and a negative way you square root. That's the same thing. This one I'm going to bring all this stuff over, so subtract 2x and subtract 35 over. So I got x squared minus 2x minus 35 equals 0. So then when I factor this thing, what multiplies to be negative 35 and adds to be negative 2, that'd be x minus 7, x plus 5. So my two answers would be x equals 7 and negative 5. Okay, find the zeros. Now we got cubes going on here. And to get rid of these, I do like some grouping things. So I look at the first part, and then I look at the second part. So looking at the first part, what do these two share that I can take out? An x squared, and I'm left with x minus 6. And I need to keep that the same over here, x minus 6. These two have to be the same. And what do I have to multiply in for x to become negative 4x? Well, that would be a negative 4. So really this is x squared minus 4 and x minus 6. These are equal to 0 because we're trying to solve. And then x squared minus 4, we can go a little further. X plus 2, x minus 2. Still got that x minus 6, so my three values, answers here are 2, negative 2, and 6. Three solutions because I got x cubed. Here's a good old-fashioned factoring one. What multiplies to be 12 and adds to be 7? That'd be 3 and 4. So x plus 3, x plus 4. So you get x equals negative 3 and negative 4. One more. Again, a good old factoring one. What multiplies to be negative 36 and adds to be 5? Looks like 9 and 4. And then which one's got to be positive? It's got to be x plus 9, x minus 4. So my two answers are x equals 4 and negative 9. One more here for you. The town has a nature preserve with a rectangular field that measures 6 by 4 miles. The town wants to double the area of the field by adding lands as shown. So we got our current field, and we want to double it. We want to make it even bigger. Here's my current field, which is 6 by 4. 6 by 4 happening right there. And I want to double this thing. So I'm going to add, I don't know, so I'm going to add x to this side, and I'm going to add x to this side to get that. whatever this x is going to be. I don't know. And since we want to double the field, we got to find the dimensions of the field. So this side times this side gives me the area. So my current area is the 4 by 6, which gives me 24. So my new area I want it to be is going to be 48. So to solve this thing, I need to set up length times width. So my length here, this side is 4, plus I'm adding on x. So I got like x plus 4 times this side, x plus 6 equals, I want it to equal 48. So now when I factor this, x squared plus 6x plus 4x gives me plus 10x plus 24 equals 48. And to solve any of these, I need to equal to 0, so I'm going to subtract 48. So now I have x squared plus 10x minus 24 equals 0. So now when I factor this thing, what times to be 24 and adds to be 10? 6 and 4, so I got x, oh no, that's not right. 12 and 2, here we go. I got x plus 12, x minus 2 equal to 0. And then when I solve it, my two answers are negative 12 and 2. Well, we can't add a negative onto my field, so my only choice is this 2. So I'm adding my new dimensions. I'm adding 2 on, so it's going to be 6 by